SuperTech-IT once again, and this time there's sort of a lot of products out right now, and not everybody has seen everything that's available for the RGB LED Cube. So I wanted to go over sort of pretty much all the different little modules and so forth, so that everybody has an understanding of what is available and what does what. So the first thing, obviously, is the cube base itself, and that's the big main board that most of you are going to see, that you're going to be ordering. Because of its size, of course, it is a little bit expensive, but unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about the price because I don't order huge quantities of these. When I order them, they come in little runs like this, and when they run out, then I get more, because that's basically all I can really do. I can't afford to get huge runs and get those great big discounts like you'd expect from somebody in Hong Kong or China or something like that. So that's the big main board that you get, and that's the one that you actually put all the components on, that you actually mount your cube to. That's the main project board itself. Then we get into the bridge boards. These boards, basically, a lot of you, even though you may have only ordered one board, like the ChipKit bridge board, there's a good chance that I sent you one of these. And what this is it's a complete ChipKit and Arduino bridge board set. And all you do when you get this is they're V-grooved on these lines. You just give them a little tweak like that, and they'll break right down that line. Perfect. So you'll have one for any particular board that we have code for at the moment. Now, if you don't want a bridge board, you can, of course, take whatever prototyping board you happen to have. This one's a ChipKit UNO32, and use these prototyping wires and plug those straight down into this connector here. The instructions for that, of course, are on the instructable, and you can do that with any one of your boards. However, the bridge boards make it a lot easier, simply because all you have to worry about is getting your bridge board lined up like that, and then you take the bridge board, line it up, snap it down onto the cube. Now when you power it up, away it goes. Okay, so very simple. Also makes it easy to change from one board to another. This is for the MEGA2560. You just line that up, snap it down just like a shield. Once again, line it up, snap it down onto the cube. I didn't do this the last time, that's why the fireworks were all blue. Don't forget to temper your board for the Arduino if you are using an Arduino, either Arduino, the 2560 or the UNO. Okay, so there we go. Once again, we've changed microcontrollers that fast, that easy, and off it goes. The code for the Arduino UNO and the Arduino MEGA are pretty much identical at this point. It was just simply ported over from one to the other, but the MEGA gives you a lot more room, so you can put in a lot more new animations if you want to write your own. If you're going to be making a number of animations and you don't want to go over to the ChipKit, then it's the MEGA2560 that I would recommend going to. The code basically is all the same in terms of writing code for it. So it's a nice step up if you have an Uno to begin with. So that said, before the bridge boards came out, we had something called UNO eliminators. And there was one for the ChipKit UNO32, and there was one for the Arduino UNO. And these little guys basically were the original easiest way to, snap a processor down onto the board, fire it up, and away you go. It got rid of the ChipKit UNO or the Arduino UNO, and allowed you to have a full processor in a very, very compact form factor. Now, these guys are only available by special order because I don't stock them. They just weren't popular enough. People had a hard time soldering the chip, especially onto the UNO32, the ChipKit UNO32 boards. People were having a bunch of problems with that. And the solution to that, of course, was the bridge board. So instead of having to solder up something that looked like this, we just took a board, put it on top of this board, and we get this. And once again, very simple. You take that, you line it up, snap it down, fire it up. So once again, we've changed the processor, and in this case we've changed it completely. We've gone from the ATmega over to the PIC microcontroller. So that easy, we've switched it over, and the ChipKit actually has the best code for it at the moment. And right now it's the only processor that we have the music response codes for. So if you're looking for music response, you're going to want to go with a ChipKit. If you already have a cube, and if you have either a bridge board or an UNO eliminator, you can use the new music modules. This is what an assembled music module looks like. There's one tiny little flaw, not a big deal. These two resistors here at the very top, you just need to connect them together. You can see there I've got a little piece of wire running between them. And that's not even 100% necessary. That's just so that both channels will be received by the chip. If you don't connect those two resistors together, you only get this channel up here. Even though it's marked in here and out here, it's actually in here and out here in that particular configuration, and that would require the mono jumper being on as well. Well, no, actually it doesn't. It would be in there, out there. But if you're going in stereo and you want both channels to be received by the chip, you need to have those two resistors connected together at the top. Other than that, everything's pretty much straightforward. USB just plunks right down. It's a little bit hard to wangle in sometimes, but then again, so is this connector. So once you get them in there, they're great. This connector here for the mic, I put it on the bottom because the mic modules that I recommend are these ones here. And they come with the connector like this. So if I want this board and this board to be level with each other, then I had to put the connector on the bottom so that it would connect like that. So, that being said, as I said before, it doesn't matter if you have one of these UNO eliminators. Because what you can do is you can take the UNO eliminator and it will come and connect right down on top of the music module. And once again, as usual, you just line up the connector, snap it down onto the board. Fire it up. Press the music button to put it into music mode. I'm going to press it a second time to lock it into one particular mode. Then I'm going to bring the noise reduction down, or you might want to say bring the sensitivity up. I'm just going to put my X mini speakers over here by the mic. So, pretty obvious how that works. With the bridge boards, instead of going down on top, the music module goes onto the bridge board, like so. So, as you can see, it's a little bit sort of obtrusive. It's in the way a little bit. So if you want, you can find these things on eBay. These are, just male to female 20-pin connectors. And I like to use them. Makes things a little bit easier to handle. Just put that on there and plug this into here. And run it that way. And of course, once I get a box or something to put this into, this can just slide underneath into the box, like so. Very simple, very easy. So, I'm going to once again oops. Noise reduction down a bit. I'm going to take one of these USB modules. Now, some of you are going to be getting some of those for free. And they are going to be non-modified. Okay, now when they come, the way that they come from the factory, unmodified, if you plug it in to this thing, hang on, I'm going to plug my speakers into the output on the music module. And I'm going to take this and plug it into the board. You hear that horrendous noise. So, that is a problem. Now, there's two ways to go about this. Way number one, let me just get one of these here. What you're going to want to do is on the bottom, where the USB connector is, right here, you're going to see 1, 2 lines going into those middle 2 pins. You're going to want to cut those on the music module. That'll get rid of your noise. But that means that you're going to have to use the little cord that came with it. Okay, and it will plug in there, and then plug in here on the music module, and then this plugs into the music module and you're all set to go. The other way to do it is to leave the board as is and do your modification to the Bluetooth adapter itself. And what you do on the Bluetooth adapter is right up here under the middle two pins, you're going to cut the little line going to each one of the middle two pins. And then on top side, on the middle two pins, you're going to run those to these two pins of the headphone jack. I took the headphone jack out. It's a lot easier to see that way. Okay, and once you've made that modification, you can use this. I'm just going to reassemble it here. You can use it just like this without any additional wires once that's done. Oh yeah, sure. No, it doesn't want to go in. Did I put it in? Yeah, I think I put it in upside down.
Bluetooth paired.
Okay, if it says Bluetooth paired because it's already paired itself with my iPod. So, without any wires or anything like that, since it's already paired, I can just start playing music through the iPod. And since my X Mini is plugged into the output of the music module, we're going to be able to hear it as well. Okay, so that's basically how the Bluetooth on this thing works. If you have an iPhone, an iPad, iPod, Samsung Galaxy, or anything that can take a standard Bluetooth audio output device, you know, like Bluetooth speakers or whatever, this is going to work for that. I'm going to have the new code put up pretty soon. And it'll say specifically that it's for the version 4.5 audio board. I have made a change in the board in that the gain or noise limiting is no longer a hardware thing, it's now all done through software, and the potentiometer simply goes to an analog input on the board, and so the microprocessor reads what value that's at and decides how much gain to put on the input that's coming in. The biggest problem that I'm having right now is I just haven't totally compensated for it correctly in all the code. So once I get that finished up, I'll get that online for you guys. So I think that's just about everything covered. That's the bridge boards, the Bluetooth, the microphone, the 3 different processors. We even touched on the old UNO eliminators. If I did get enough orders for UNO eliminators, I would actually do another run of them. But they're such a small board, and if I order a really small quantity, it's going to cost quite a bit. So I'm really trying to avoid that if possible. So, so that's the version 4.5 audio board. Bridge boards. The ChipKit 2.0, the UNO, and the Mega boards. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to point out. There is a jumper here called Reset Link, and a lot of people have asked me what that is for. Most of the boards, your reset is out here. So you'd want to just leave that off, actually. But in the case of something like the Arduino Mega, the reset button is now buried between the 2 boards. So what you can do is you can jumper the reset link like I have here, and then you can use the reset button that's down on the board to reset the processor. The only problem with that is that if you go to program the board, it's probably going to fail unless you remove the reset link line. Then it should program, no problem, and then you can just pop that back on and you're ready to go again. Okay. So once again, SuperTech-IT, have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.